तो चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं we to the urban innovation session. As Gandhi ji once said, a small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next few hours, we will witness some of the most inspiring and groundbreaking initiatives aimed at making our world a better place. So with no further ado, we embark on our urban, rural, and tribal social innovation presentation. 18 finalists from 21 states will present their social innovation. Now, this conference is not only about passive listening. We want all of you to engage and vote for your favorite finalists. Please scan the QR code on the screen to vote. First up is a presentation by the finalists from the Urban Social Innovation category. I request all the finalists to be on stage, to join us on stage. Each finalist will be given 7 minutes for their presentation. Mr. Mayur Datar, Chief Data Scientist at Flipkart, will chair the session along with Mr. Amit Bhargav, Associate Vice President, Birlasoft, as co-chair. The jury for this category are Mr. Dinanath Kholkar, Senior Vice President and Global Head Partner Ecosystems and Alliances at TCS, Mr. Pradeep Bhargav, Chairman Automotive Stampings and Assemblies Limited, Mr. Prakash Apte, Chairman Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited. Please proceed.
First of all, thank you very much for all for coming here. Really excited to be chairing this session, and I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful honor and opportunity to be here. We heard some great talks today morning and about how we live in such turbulent times, and there is so many challenges facing all of us, particularly in the urban sector, challenges of pollution, waste management, education, and so on and so forth. And so it's really very inspiring to see a lot of these innovators up here who will be presenting their ideas, their work in this particular area. I would also like to thank the distinguished members of the jury, and I would like to offer all the best to all of the participants and the finalists. So without any further ado, I would like to invite the first innovator, Mr. Nandan Bhatt, to present his idea.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Excuse me. Just a minute. Yeah. Some ground rules. 7 minutes is the time which you have for every presentation. We'll give you a warning at 6 minutes. And expectation is 7 minutes is the time.
I'll try to be in that time. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nandan Bhatt. So I'm founder of EcoKari. EcoKari is actually based on 2 basic missions. So one is we are trying to conserve the environment by upcycling single-use plastic like biscuit packets, chips packets, gift wrappers, the polythene bags. And the second part of the mission is that we are trying to enable the livelihood for women and youth who are coming from the humble background. So these are the 2 basic missions. Now the problem statement why we are doing it, as you can see that everywhere the plastic is there. So it's close to 26,000 tons of plastic are produced every day. It's close to 9.6 million tons a year. So if you graphically see it, it's close to 9,000 Asiatic landfills, and then close to 86 Boeing jets. So utna plastic hum actually generate kar rahe hain. 60% is collected and recycled in India. So baki 40% is still there. So if you see that 40% of it is majorly the single-use plastic like MLPs, polythene bags, jiska kuch nahi hota. Now what's the solution for it? So what we have done is a small video which will tell you what we do. A short, less than a minute video. It will make my life easier because I have a time constraint. So here it is.
Can you guess how we upcycle these waste plastic bags and wrappers into such beautiful products? Come, let's see.
this is technically what we do in a short 1 minute. Adaptability actually मेरे को इसलिए रखना था because a lot of the questions which we came across was like कि scalability का क्या कर रहे हो? How can you scale this business? So if you've seen the video, the complete process was manual till the sewing machines were introduced. So there's no use of electricity, chemicals, or any other hazardous. We don't dye them again. So we use the actual colors of the plastic bags. So in that case, this can be taken even into the remote areas of India, where you will find these kind of challenges. बिजली नहीं है, आपको पानी गर्म करने के लिए लकड़ी नहीं चाहिए, and all that stuff. Second is the part of the mission that we want to train women and youth who are coming from the urban background, so that can be taken there. So we already have as of now 2 units. एक Pune में है, एक कर्नाटका में है. The Karnataka one is actually under the CSR initiative of GSW Foundation, so where we have already trained close to 75 artisans coming from the humble background in that area. So ये Pune का unit है हमारा, it's in Varje, so it's a self-funded project Pune में, but the Bellary one is actually funded by the CSR initiative of GSW Foundation. Value proposition, what we actually give to the customers is that most of the products which we make are mostly fashionable products, so they conserve the environment, they are enabling the livelihood, they are handicrafted, and then they close to on each and every product is 35 to 40 plastic bags are upcycled or recycled into one product. So that's what we do. Some of the products, so ये पूरे products नहीं हैं, these are some of the products because we have as of now close to 42 SKUs. And majority of my sales actually happen through either corporate gifting or the exports. So these are the 2 domains which actually keep me alive as a business. कुछ customer reviews, I'm sure दिख नहीं रहा होगा वो, but so since we are in the social business, so we do measure our impact in terms of the social as well as the environmental impact दोनों में. So the first one, if you see, it's the kind of the plastic bags which we upcycle. So it's more than 3 years now which we are in the operation. तो पहले साल 3.7 था, next was 16.7 lakhs, and third year was close to 25 lakhs of plastic bags upcycled. CO2 is directly proportional to what the number of the plastic bags are being upcycled. And then the third one is the livelihoods created. तो पहला साल operations में था, तो it was little smaller for us because I wanted to test it, चलेगा नहीं चलेगा, why should I completely go into it? So it was 15 artisans. Next year it was close to 85, and this year it's close to 100 plus. And by January, if the project goes through, so we might have to train 1,000 plus artisans in Kutch. So it might be 10 times the scale which we will be going through in this year. The team who is managing the show, I am the smallest part, but the majority of the work is done by these guys. कुछ awards जो मिले हुए हैं. I'll finish in 1 minute now. Not okay. So this was a dream actually. What I wanted to be in the next 5 years. उसमें से 2 साल पहले ही खत्म हो चुके हैं. So this is till 26. What I wanted to achieve was I should have close to 100 weaving units across the India, which we can technically now I am creating my competition because this is a new product line. मैं कितना ही market develop कर पाऊँगा. So I have to create my competition by teaching it to the others. So that's how the complete ecosystem will be developed. For example, the Pune unit, we clicked close to 2 crores of revenue in the 1 year, last year. So, and that too, I'll say that is not a 100% production which we are doing there. So it can be 100 units with 2 crores of revenue, it can go to 200 crores of revenue with these kind of artisans. And each, actually the unit can upcycle close to 2 lakh of plastic bags per unit per month. So the impact can be higher if we have those kind of the impacts. So that's all from my side, thank you. I hope I was on between the time.
Thank you, Nandan. I would like to invite the next inventor from Banko Janko, Bhavini Parekh, to make her presentation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and my friends. I'm Bhavini from Banko Janko. Do you know what happens to your garments, sides fabrics? So when your garments made, there is a side scraps. So from 10 garments, one garment new can be created, that is from the textile scraps, right? So today, due to that, it goes to the landfill. Due to that, textile industry is the highest polluting industry in the world. If we see 440,000 lakhs of the tons of the textiles goes to the landfill, that requires 240 acres of the landfill. That means it is a one New York City. And on the other end, corporate giftings, many corporate giftings are available in the market, but yeah, China made, plastic made, and all that things, and few of eco-friendly, but still there is a need of a more creative and things. So Banco Janko is here to change that. Let me introduce myself. I'm Bhavini Parikh, founder of Banco Janko. Experience of 34 years in a fashion industry. Work for the big brands as well as small brands like Anita Dongre, Superstop, Ethnicity, and many more. From surface ornamentations to the garment manufacturing, white labeling. And during that time, we have trained more than 5,000 women. Today, they are pilot engineer. My daughter became the pilot. I started from 500 rupees during that time. And that is my mission, to start this Banco Janko eco-friendly, to help these women to reach out to their mission. So this is our few products like this. This is also from the scrap. Can you believe that? All these are from the scrap. And yes, of course, this is also from the scrap. But yeah, you can create a beautiful product from that. So what we do, we collect the scraps from the manufacturing unit, and we segregate, and by training the women, we develop the different products. So we work with the Rescue Home, Shelter Home, Juvenile Center, and all over in India, in Himachal, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Patna, and many more places. We have trained the women. And yes, of course, we have a different products line, that is eco-gifting, and of course, we have introduced the gift card, because today, if we give the gift to their choice, that is a more essential and more into the circularity. And yeah, we have two models, B2B, B2C. We are online as well as offline. B2B, we have customers like the Aditya Groups, Indian Oils, Sankalp, and German Embassy, ISC3, German companies. And our mission is to help the women, more than 5,000 women, and create more than 100 women entrepreneurs in the green business. This is a little glance. We are not only making the product, but we are creating a more circular generations. We are doing lots of workshops and KJ Somaya colleges and many more. How we are different? We are, of course, there is a lots of challenges for us. But yeah, our strength is my experience of 34 years in the fashion industry, and there is a challenge for the scrap and everything, but yeah, as we are due to the experience, we are able to achieve that things. Till today, we have saved tons of the textile scrap, diverting from the landfill, tons of the carbon emissions saved, more than the 1,100 women we have trained till today. And what our customers say about this. This is a little glance of our customers. And yes, till today, we have achieved 53 lakhs of the revenue generated. But yeah, in this year, we have already reached to 20 lakhs, and we are expecting 48 lakhs, as we are in the discussions of many more. And when we have started, we were in a very initial stage. But now, and as our next step, we will be able to reach to 2.2 CR, as we are already in the discussion with the big brands as well as the small brands for the expansions, like the IKEA foundations and many more. So this is our next step. We want to have the stores in the airport and airports. And as we have received, say 2026 Walmarts and everything, because just now we have received the awards from as a climate catalyst from the IKEA foundations. And we want to reach out to all these big stores as an sustainable products. Our ask is 1 CR. We want to utilize this for the marketing, team building, and many more. But this is not only the ask. We welcome, and we would like to help us in mentoring us and coming on our board and support for these things. Let's walk together for the journey of the green world and Banco Janko. This is our team, passionate about the sustainability, and they have the experience of more than 20 years of the masters, and Salma, she and all of that. Yeah, this is little glance of our awards, achievements, and all that. That is because of you, your friends, and lovely friends who believe in the Banco Janko. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavini, for that presentation. Next up, I would like to invite Praveen Kumar from Dextro Devices.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Praveen Kumar, and I'm an engineer trying to make an impact in the space of digital accessibility for persons with disabilities through technology. So how many of you here, like me, know as soon as you wake up from the bed, use your phones to check social media, mails, maybe open laptop? Many of you, right? At least most of them, yeah. Now, imagine you have to do the same thing, but not using your hands. I know you're trying to imagine how it's possible. But I know one person who's doing that used to do that in day-to-day basis. Let me introduce you to my friend Dr. Nonita Gangwani, who's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It's a neurological disorder. She has a postgraduate degree in physiology and she aspires to become a lecturer. And to become a lecturer, she makes presentations. And this is how she makes presentations on a phone. If you're not able to figure out, she's placing her phone on a table using her nose tip to scroll and make presentations. If you ask, it's just Dr. Nonita? No. We have millions of people around the world who lost both their upper limbs, and many of them diagnosed with neurological disorders, spinal cord injury, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, you can go on. And it's not just them. We know able-bodied people who meet with accidents, who fracture our hands, cannot be with smart devices even for a day. So that's the problem that we are trying to solve. And now let me introduce you to Mouseware. So Mouseware is a head wearable device which enables hands-free control of all smart devices with simple head movements. What you need to do, you can strap this device to any head wearable, like a cap, headphones, anything, and you wear it. Can you see the mouse cursor on the screen? I'm not using my hands, it moves according to my head movement. And how does the user, thank you. Yeah, and how does the user click? We have different options like a foot-operated switch, a strappable switch, different kinds of switcher for different kinds of disability. I can elaborate in the stall that we have in the below. And this device, as I said, not only operates computers, but all kind of smart devices, including a smart TV. And typing can be performed through a powerful speech-to-text engine, which accepts all accents of English and all regional languages. So mouse movement, mouse click, keyboard usage, typing, all three covered with one single device. So let us revisit to Dr. Nonita, who has been using our device for past 1.5 years. The metrics that one such metric is that previously she used to take 3 days to create a simple presentation. But now she is able to do it in just 3 hours. And not just that, she quite amazed us by making all these paintings with simple head movements with this device on simple MS Paint. And it proves 2 things. One is person with disability, when they are given a proper tool, their potential is simply limitless. And this device can be used to make as complex mouse activities as well. If you ask, it's just Dr. Nonita? No, we have hundreds of users, right from children to students to adults using smart devices for different usage, for taking up examinations, academics, communication, working in banks, working in IT professions all over. We have few customers outside the country as well, and many more. If you ask me why did they choose this technology instead of others, there are camera-based solutions which tracks our eye movement to move. But say I'm not even looking at my camera, but still I'm able to use it. But it's not possible there, and it's not compatible with all devices, and it's highly, it starts at 1 lakh, it goes into 2 to 3 lakhs as well. The speech-to-text does not give you all the controls, but our device provides you all the options with a plug-and-play feature at rupees just 20,000. So what have we done so far? Quickly, we have a patent granted, so it's unique. We are EMI, EMC compliance tested. It's safe to use. We are fortunate to get support from incubators, now PIC as well, hopefully. We have funded by few private investors, pre-seeded, and some government grants. We have accolades from Google, the James Dyson Award recently, the Oppo, etc. So in the past, we started in 2020. We did user trials, pilot launch, pilot products, and 2022 we launched the product. So in the next couple of years, we are looking to take up more livelihood CSR projects. We are looking to have a large export sales, and then we look to expand our AT assistive tech portfolio in the space of digital accessibility in the future and establish partnerships. So how do we reach them? Education sector, schools, colleges, and then we approach the skill development sectors like NGOs who promote the livelihood for persons with disabilities through digital inclusion. We approach the corporates to make their workplaces accessible, not just to ramps or things, but even making computers and all smart devices accessible for the upper limb disabled, and even the orthopedic, as I said, the able-bodied people getting their hands fractured. So it's a one-time sale. It's a 20,000 rupee a bundle that we go forward. So to end with, it's a great platform, and like to put my ask. We look for the outreach support through strategic partnerships with corporates. We look to incorporate this kind of a technology into the workplace so that more people with disabilities can apply for employment. We look to connect with the CSR network to execute more livelihood opportunities, because this is just a tool. What are they going to do with it? This is a livelihood enabling tool. So we want to connect from the A to Z, where they at the end of the loop get the digital skilling or employment opportunity. And it's not just a problem within our country, so we look to address it outside the country as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Praveen. I would like to next invite Pulkit Jain from Electromotion E-Vidyut Vehicles.
So hi, I'm Pulkit Jain. My company name is Electromotion E-Vidyut Vehicles Private Limited. We are converting existing vehicles into electric right now, auto rickshaws, and we are helping auto rickshaw drivers increase their income by over 40% without overcharging passengers. So if you look at the Indian landscape, there are more than 35 lakh auto rickshaws that run on combustion engine on Indian roads. And these are 5 to 15 years old. That's the sweet spot I am looking for. And auto rickshaws make over 60% of all urban last mile mobility, convenience within the cities. So if you look at the problem, these auto rickshaws, as they get old, they pollute the roads, not just through air pollution, but also a lot of noise pollution. For the auto driver, as they get older, the vehicle have a lot of vibration, and then ultimately that leads to problems within the back, and also for the passenger, it's big discomfort. And obviously, for an auto wala, if he's making about 800 to 900 rupees per day, that's in a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city, he saves only about 40-50%. And in tier 1 cities, normally auto walas, they get it from an aggregator who rents them out the auto rickshaw. So still at the end of the day, they are not left with a lot of money to improve their livelihood. So we have come up with a solution. We have a reliable and cost-effective retrofitment system that helps existing auto rickshaw drivers to convert their vehicles into electric in a fast and an easy way. We can do conversion within 2 hours. And for us, the uniqueness is that we have developed the entire solution stack, not just a retrofitment kit, but to ensure that the fitment is done right. So if you look at our innovations, we have come up with a compact powertrain, which is cross-compatible with various vehicle makes and models. So not just one particular make and model of auto rickshaw. We can do any kind of vehicle, any kind of rickshaw conversion. And then on top of that, we have our intelligent driver information system. Again, this is completely built in-house in Pune itself, actually. So we provide proper prediction of the range, as well as the proper speed and all the correct information. So it's very much an upgraded auto rickshaw when it comes out. And then to ensure that the fitment is done right, we have brought our own retrograde diagnosis. So these fitments, these conversions are not going to happen at a factory. These are going to happen at a local mechanics place, and we are going to employ local mechanics to do the conversion. So we need to ensure that the fitment is done properly. So in order to do that, we have come up with our own diagnosis hardware. So after fitment, the fitter is going to take it for a 2-kilometer spin, and it's going to validate if the fitment is done right, and it's going to inform the fitter how to do the fitment properly. Looking at the competition, I'm sorry for the smaller font size, but I am segregating into 2 categories. New electric auto rickshaws, they are catching up very well. And then you have another retrofitment players. For new electric auto rickshaw, something which is comparable with the same kind of mileage, the same kind of speed is going to cost you about 3.1 lakh to 3.2 lakh rupees. This is with subsidies. So after subsidies, that is what the cost is going to be. For us, the cost for the end customer without subsidies, if we do not get subsidies, that's going to be about 170 to 1,80,000. And this I plan to get it financed through a financing agent. When you compare it to my other competitors who are also doing retrofitments, my cost per kilometer and the upfront cost is lower. So it's about 20 to 40% lower cost of ownership for the auto rickshaw. Lower cost of ownership means per kilometer, if a new auto wala buys an auto and he gets it financed 4 rupees to 20 paisa, for us it's about 2 rupees 10 paisa, including the cost of fuel, cost of electricity, cost of financing, EMI, rent and everything. So my sales model, I sell the retrofitment kit to the driver. He gets a finance from a financing agency and he pays me upfront. The financing can be between, so my assumption is 15 to 22% depending on our current discussion with potential financiers. So that translates to about 4,500 rupees per month of a EMI. If you get a new vehicle, electric vehicle, the cost of EMI is about 10,000 rupees. So it's half in cost of EMI versus getting a new vehicle. So in total, if you switch to electric with RetroKit, that's a product name, it's going to be about 51% cheaper versus a combustion engine rickshaw if it's running on petrol or diesel. If it's running on CNG, about 40% cheaper to operate. And that includes the cost of financing, by the way. And it's about 41% more profitable for the auto wala to convert to RetroKit. The profit starts from day one, basically. And even if the electricity comes from a 100% coal-based source, we are still reducing equivalent to 24 fully grown trees worth of CO2 per year. So, with just 10% of the market that I projected, it will be equivalent to, carbon reduction that would have been done by 3,400 crore, about 24 trees per vehicle and about 3,400 crores of income added to the auto rickshaw community without overcharging the passengers. So this money we are basically giving, enabling the auto rickshaw drivers to work on. So my team, my co-founders, Bishwajit, Gaurav, Surya, all of us are engineers from different domain. Our mentors, Mr. Ivy Rao, Mr. Prem Bhartasati, Mr. Anil Bogesara, Mr. Bharat Musaddi from different domains of automotive engineering and of business as well. So we have had a very good team there to start with. So we already have a few vehicles on road that we are doing pilots in Pune. So our factory is in Bosri area in Pune. So by end of the year, we plan to have at least 10 vehicles on the road. We already have a few vehicles. Next year, we have a target for the next quarter of about 200 units once we are done with pilots, so that these 10 vehicles that we are going to have will have about 1 lakh kilometers of on-road data. And then our target is to, following that, move into other states and start other production. So to sum it up, why support us? Lower cost, more income for the auto rickshaw drivers, easier to adapt. You don't need to go into a learning curve of learning a new vehicle. It's already their own vehicle. You just need to have a new powertrain. And we can do it very fast. We don't need to have huge factories to do retrofitment. These are going to be done on a micro scale with using the existing infrastructure. So it's very much scalable. We can easily convert the entire fleet by another next 3 or 4 years, even with the facilities that we have today. So what we are asking for is obviously support in order to collaborate with financing and banking agencies to make financing more accessible for retrofitment. That is the primary ask for us. And for us as a company to scale, we are looking to raise about 3 crores. That is going to enable us to make about 100 vehicles per month following this. So that's about it. Thanks a lot. And these are the partners and these are the supporters that we have. And I look forward to get more experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pulkit. I would next like to invite from from EcoBio Group, Mr. Prasad Phadke.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think any of these is the most lethal weapon on the planet? Yeah, which has been destructively used for all the wars that we have fought? Actually, no. The most deadliest weapon on planet Earth is the unassuming itna sa chota sa machhar, which is responsible for wiping out half of humanity that ever existed. Mosquitoes kill more number of people than people have died in wars, and annually every year 1 million people die due to dengue, malaria, and the mosquito-borne diseases, right? Known problem. What are we doing about it? 2 things. Age-old method. Machhar marna. Yeah, you have, the rackets that have come in today, right? Or then you have those electric killers, right? They all kill the adult. Okay, great. And then we use vaporizers in sockets. We put incense sticks, coils, lotions our body, which repel them away. Bhaga dete hai. You repel them away, they are going to come back, right? So we are not looking at the source and in a very way looking at the source to do source reduction. And that is why 125 years after discovery of malaria in Secunderabad, India, not in Africa, right? The problem still continues because we are not attacking the source. Until, and one of the reasons why source is important is because we have not paid attention to science, ladies and gentlemen. we have not paid attention to science. The science is 4 things. Only female mosquitoes bite, number 1. Number 2, they breed only in water. Number 3, they lay anywhere between 500 to 1,000 eggs when they breed. And number 4, they have an extremely short lifespan, which is 15 to 30 days. Which means that next time a mosquito has bitten you, you have done 2 things. Donated blood to create 3 crore mosquitoes in a span of 15 to 30 days. Which means that the rates at which mosquitoes multiply beats COVID hands down. And so, when you have a massive force multiplier, what did we learn from science? What did we learn from COVID? Break the chain, right? And are we doing that? No. Until we introduced world's first passive device, EcoBio traps. You know, the device comes to you like this. It has a sachet inside. The sachet does 2 purposes. One is an attractant, second is a killing ingredient. That's the 2 purposes that the sachet does. And the way this works is very simple, right? If you can have the sound. You just add water in the device. After adding water, the female mosquitoes get attracted to it. Go back to the science, right? They breed only in water. Now this attractant which we have kept inside ensures that they do not breed into any other water body and only this water body. So it comes, mimics the breeding ground. She'll come lay the eggs over here, and then the killing ingredient will ensure that eggs do not transform into an adult. Only by adding water, and all you have to do is add water and keep it, you know, in a dark space directly away from sunlight. That is it. And you are done, right? Built on science, but more importantly, validated by scientists. Out of the top 50 vector entomologists or mosquito scientists in the world, 5 of them serve on our advisory board. Dr. Susanta Kumar Ghosh, former director of ICMR SENA-MR in Bangalore. India thanks him for his discovery of Gambusia fish or guppy fish, as we all know, which is larvivorous fish, eats mosquito larvae. Our prairie own Punekar, Dr. Subhas Salunke, and several others. So built on science, validated by scientists, we took the product in the world's most difficult terrain, right 150 kilometers from here, Dharavi. For past 18 months, we have been deploying the product in Dharavi with the support of BMC. And the results were, you know, obviously it's a 18 months longitudinal WHO approved cohort study. The results of that were published for 2 years in a row in American Society for Tropical Medicine and Hygiene. CNN covered us exclusively in a 10-minute documentary or impact in Dharavi. And actually, instead of me talking and the science, obviously there's scientific validation to it, but let's hear from those people. You know, we all know how Dharavi is a difficult terrain, right? But let's hear from those people.
बीमार नहीं पड़ता यहाँ पे, अभी कोई डेंगू वाला मसला आया ही नहीं अभी तक।
इस समय तो नहीं तो हमेशा डेंगू मलेरिया से कितने जन अगले साल मरे थे। साल तो बहुत कम मरे ही नहीं। या में बाड़ा वाला मच्छर चला गया, झाड़ा ना बचाएगा तो होएगा नहीं तो भी क्या लगाने का बहुत फायदा है कि साफ उनको भी जो मच्छर लगते हैं तो वो भी नहीं लग रहा है और रात में तो दम ही नहीं लग रहा है। पहले मोर्टिन लगाना पड़ता था तो भी मच्छर काटते थे मोर्टिन से, मगर अब नहीं, अब मोर्टिन भी नहीं लगता और मच्छर भी नहीं काटते हैं।
इसे मच्छर के या जो डेंगू का जो भी है वो मसला हल हुआ।
If they breed, we all bleed. EcoBio trap करे जड़ से सर्वनाश ताकि आप रहे खतरनाक बीमारियों से दूर.
And, you know, to people who are from Mumbai, if you have observed, you know, all these years, Dharavi was always on the top of the charts in the #1 dengue and malaria cases. But look at it, what has happened this year? None, right? And in a very eco-friendly way, doesn't emit any toxic fumes, you know, doesn't require electricity, doesn't need battery recharging, right? Just adding water, and is affordable than all the repellents that are available there, but most importantly solves a very important problem in a very different way, targeting the source, right? bunch of validations that have been there. We work very closely with the Bombay Municipal Corporation. In fact, there was a small outbreak of dengue in Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, and we mitigated that. Rentokil PCI, our partner, world's largest, 2,500 branches and around 5,000 odd people deployed who are using there. And this is our impact. And my last slide. Till date, we have saved around 943 lives, protected 940,000 people from dengue, malaria, saved landfill, saved carbon dioxide emissions, CO2 offset, but more importantly, made from waste by recycling corrugated boxes and turning it into a product. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 things which are going to help us win this war with dengue and malaria. Science, Shastra, Shastra, and you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are CSR in the room, let's go protect our Anganwadis. If you are policymakers, let's raise a call to the government to implement these kind of policies and make sure that we live in a dengue malaria free zone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. ये थी एक मच्छर की कहानी एक मच्छर वालियों के नजरे से. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prasad. Last but certainly not the least, I would like to now invite from Barefoot Edu Foundation, Pallavi Kejriwal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pallavi Kejriwal. My entire school life, sports was like my magic wand. When I was struggling with low grades, sports came to my rescue. I'm sure it must have done for a lot of you here too. Making me confident, making me believe the power of that a sport holds in a child's life. Today, I lead a program in which I'm impacting more than 5,000 children to grow meaningfully through the same transformative power of sport. That's me, Pallavi Kejriwal, before you. I'm working at Barefoot Edu Foundation. Did you know that only 2% of India has access to sports? And 50% of schools, only 50% of schools have sports facilities. So what happened to the rest of the other 50? A question to be asked, right? Majority are under-resourced schools who do not have any access to organized sports facilities. What does it lead to? Leading to students falling prey to negative peer pressures, substance abuse, as well as behavioral issues amongst them, which they then bring it into the classroom in the form of disrespect and violence. This is what the Right Pitch is trying to solve. The Right Pitch is a sports program, making sports accessible to children from under-resourced communities and be a catalyst of change and hope in their lives. Let's get to hear from a small story. Meet Fiza. She comes from a second largest slum in Mumbai, which is Malwani. She comes from an orthodox community who discourages girls to play sports. Her aggressive and straightforward attitude made it difficult for her to make friends until the Right Pitch came into her life, in her middle school in class 8. With the right support and mentorship through the Right Pitch, Fiza became a whole new person through cricket. She broke stereotypes. She was the sole girl from her community to represent at external tournaments. Not just that, she also got a chance to work with the famous Bollywood actress Taapsee Pannu in one of her cricketing biopic films. Now, Fiza has joined hands with us as a community officer and a TRP coach, helping other children break barriers just as she did for herself. That's the story of our Fiza, who's sitting right here amongst all of us. Barefoot Edu Foundation, what does it do? We are a non-profit. We were established in 2018. We work to build school leadership for the 21st century schools who wishes to excel in academics, sports, and who wants to adopt entrepreneurship as an approach. And we are here today because of a program, The Right Pitch, which I'm leading currently, which is a sports flagship program of the Barefoot Edu Foundation, where we are aiming to build 21st century skills in children. When I say 21st century skills, what are these 21st century skills? Confidence, communication, leadership, such skills which is happening through sport. At the right pitch, we follow an ERO model. What does ERO model stand for? Engagement, resource, and opportunities. We engage with children through 2 sessions weekly of 90 minutes each. Out of the 90 minutes, we ask our coaches to give 15 minutes, just 15 minutes of the session, to build essential skills in children which would help them to face the real world. For example, we help children to identify and deal with peer pressure. Something I'm sure we all have gone through at some point in our life, right? But were we taught how to deal with it? No. That is where we come in. That is what makes us different, where we are standing out over here, where we are working with the children to face the real world challenges by guiding them, building their confidence. We are also engaged with the schools, with the parents, as well as with the coaches by providing training to them. We do provide resources to the schools in form of cricket kits, equipments, as well as coaches who are from the community, and they act as positive role models for these children who become their Didi and Bhaiya throughout their life. They aspire to become like them. Then we create opportunities for children through our TRP annual tournament, where we teach children that you have joined our program not to win, but to learn. TRP tournament is one space, but we want to inculcate the habit of learning in them, and we provide such opportunities to them, where we also provide them advanced coaching so that they can represent their school in external tournaments. Across all schools, the TRP program has sparked a positive shift. Students who once would say, "Main isko nahi khelne dunga," they had that kind of an attitude, have now become healthy competitors, embracing self-improvement and fair play. As of today, we've been able to impact 5,000 plus students. 100% of our students have shown an increase in attendance. 70% of our students have shown reduced behavioral issues as stated by the teachers. 50% of our program participants are girls, which is a huge, huge success for us. And 75% of our children have shown an increase in confidence. This is what we are trying to do. Building fitness skills is one aspect that is happening through our program, but we are also focusing on the 21st century skills, as I have been trying to focus on. TRP traces. Now we aim to expand our program. How do we wish to do this? We wish to start TRP city chapters starting from Pune itself, which would mark as the first step towards our national journey. Our ultimate aim is to extend our presence all across India, and for the coming year, we want to 10x our reach, making sports accessible to 10,000 TRP champs by 2027. This is our team, without whom none of this would have been possible. It's noteworthy to note that 4 of our ex-TRP students are currently working with us as coaches. And towards the right, as you can see on the screen, that's Mr. Ashutosh Marathe. He has represented India under 15 2 times, and he's our mentor currently, who believes in our cause and is supporting us. And of course, we wouldn't have gotten here without the support of our funders who have helped us shape our program. These are a few of the features that we have had. You would not believe that you can help, that you'll be surprised to know that the per child cost for a year is only 5,859 rupees annually. We have some small asks for today. You could become a TRP hero by supporting our program. You could connect us to cricketing heroes or clubs. You could also become a TRP mentor. And we could start a TRP chapter together in Pune. With that, I ask you all to join hands with me to create champions for the pitch with the right pitch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the presentation. So what came across very strongly was a deep passion and commitment amongst each one of you. So I'd really like to congratulate you for it. I know it's a little difficult to club everything into a 7-minute presentation, but you all did an exceptional job of making your pitch today and communicating to the audience what you stood for. We will now move on to the Q&A session. So the format of the Q&A session will be that first the judges will be invited to ask you questions. Request the judges to name whichever innovator they have questions for. After that, we'll move to a session of audience questioning, and then we'll close the thing. So could you just pass along some mics to the judges?
My question is to Nandan first. Nandan, what about the water that you use for cleaning the plastics? If you can give a view around the circularity of the water and how much of water it is being used in your process.
So for 10 kg is 1 liter. So
Yeah.
it's working. Yeah. So for 10 kgs of plastic, we use 1 kg or 1 liter of water. So on the larger scale, and the detergents or the cleaning agents which we use are completely organic. Maybe Rita Shikakai Rosa wale use karte hum. So if we put it in the ground, it doesn't degrade the ground quality also. So that's been taken care of. On the circularity, एक और question आता है, बहुत बार आता है मेरे पास कि the end product का क्या होगा, because the products which we create are again from the plastic. So we are as of now increasing the life of these products. So what will happen when there will be the end of the life cycle for these products also? So as of now, we have tied up with one more organization who is creating the biofuel out of it, the biodiesel. So the process is called as pyrolysis. So even we generate some of the waste, like you might have seen that we cut the plastic. So the handles and the niche ka base, we cannot use it because they are a little harder. So that is given to that organization who makes the fuel out of it, and it's given for the most of the industries for the heating. The process is called as pyrolysis, you might have. So these two things which we have, because I know that ki ye questions bahut aate hain. So what to be the water as well as at the end of the life cycle, what we do. So these are the two things which we have done.
Thank you.
And for the customers on the B2C, we actually have done that. We ask customers if there is any repair or anything which needs to be done for the products. So we do free of the cost. So these are the three things which we have already thought through कि क्या आ सकता है on the larger scale पे.
Okay, thank you.
This is to Pulkit. Yeah. You got a fairly assorted module. You'll provide the kits, a garage guy will retrofit it, and the auto driver would possibly do it. 5 years plus vehicles you're looking at. The performance assurance in this very fragmented model, would that not be a challenge for someone who's saying, you're going to redo my vehicle and uski warranty guarantee kaun le raha hai?
So sir, on the warranty front, first is on the vehicle warranty of the original vehicle. So normally a 5-year-old vehicle would be out of warranty. For us, when we put a kit, we provide a 3-year comprehensive warranty on every component that we provide. The batteries have a 3-year life, and it's having a 5-year life. And the battery can also be used for second life applications. Now we haven't yet come to that situation where we have to actually remove the batteries for recycling, but we are confident that that is also going to be worked out. On the performance, so I mentioned about a device called Diagnosis. That diagnostics device is a complete automated device. So once the retrofitment is done, that device is put on that, and the person who has done the retrofitment, he takes it for a 2-kilometer ride. And that collects all the data, and it assesses and basically validates that the fitment has been done or not. So this is for the first fitment cycle. Now once after the fitment is done, we normally recommend that 3-4 months ke baad you bring the vehicle again, and then you do a re-diagnosis just to ensure that the things are going right. So we have also made sure that the fitment is reliable, because like I said, it's not happening at the factory, it's happening at the garage's place. So in order to ensure that quality, so I would say as a company, that is what has been unique to us. There are no other fitment players who are working on the implementation part as well.
So you as fitment suppliers are taking the warranty?
Yes. Okay. So we provide the warranty for the entire kit to the customer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I have a question for Praveen. Your product will be used by a large set of people having different kind of challenges. Now, the way they use it and the best way to benefit from it. So is there some kind of a after-sales service or a training or something like that require? How long does it take for a person to adapt, to effectively use this? That's one question. Second part is, What is your marketing plan? Is it only through some institutional sales or through hospitals and other places, or are you having other ideas of going to the governments or to the insurance companies and others as well?
Yeah. So the first question about every technology has a learning curve. Even if you give a handheld mouse to a child or an age-old person, they'll take some time to learn. So to ease that learning curve, as soon as they get the product, they receive a kind of a game or interactive module, as I call, which will teach them how to move the head, to move the cursor, to the click. So they get a training module. One, they'll get videos. Even beyond that, if they have doubts, we have a dedicated customer care number where they can call, and we'll connect over a video call, and we'll solve their queries. So that's one thing on the learning part. So on the second part, yes, the aspiration is to get assistive devices into the insurance, which is not currently happening nowadays because it's not considered as a priority. While the aspirations are, we cannot wait until that becomes things. So what we do is that we approach the workplaces or where largely computers and phones are being used in educational sectors. That's where we reach out and do it. But other than that, we are also trying to sensitize the audience by making them understand how difficult it is to for an upper limb disabled person to operate a computer through our marketing outreach and different kinds of things. So we give talks to corporates and different kinds of things. Thank you.
My question is to Pallavi. Your work that you're doing is quite amazing. Question is related to the target audience that you have. Is it largely focused, whatever work you're doing, in urban parts, or also have you looked at some of the other schools? And your data points covered the whole of India, but have you actually gone and done things outside?
So currently we're working only in Mumbai, but we plan to start make it regional. So we plan to first target Maharashtra, then move ahead, move to different areas. This is how we are planning to go ahead. And we also plan to get other sports on board, because currently we're being able to impact only 100 children from one school. That's to maintain the quality of our program. So we are looking to partner with different organizations, and we are in conversations with them so that we can bring about more sports in place for more children to get more access to different sports.
Thank you. Prasad, the question for you. What is the life of the sachet that you have in the product? So if you can just give me more details.
Actually, the product's biodegradable, so this will only work for 4 to 6 weeks. After 4 to 6 weeks, water will start to leak itself out.
Okay.
Therefore, then it doesn't turn to be a breeding ground. Okay. So there is no hassle of breeding ground. So it's 4 to 6 weeks tied in with the killing ingredient timing, because we want to make sure the killing ingredient timing and the bucket leaks match. If that is a mismatch in it, then it will be a breeding ground and it will have problems.
Yeah, hi. My name is Sushil Borde. Maybe a question to anyone or half of the gang here on the stage. If I ask you what is one major challenge in your thing, what would you say? One major challenge.
मेरे लिए अलग है. So for me, to get the plastic in right form is a challenge. So most of the people do say that कि plastic हर जगह available है. You will see in the roads and everywhere. But is it available in the right form where we can upcycle or recycle it is a major challenge. So it is linked to the awareness. I think awareness might be the problem with everyone. So and बहुत सारे लोग ये भी बोलते हैं कि why don't you do the awareness? But for me, awareness as a startup, it is huge money to be involved. We don't have that much of deep pockets. So हम schools में जाके करते हैं, फिर corporates में करते हैं. So the impact is slow. So it has to come from the top, maybe from the government, where they have to, like which we did from the last 40 years for the population control. हमारे दो का अभी भी आप किसी भी village में जाएंगे, will still see those banners there. But for the pollution and all of the problems, is the awareness which will start, and they've already started it. The Swachhta 2.0 has already started, but it still needs deep pockets. So I think for my kind of environment where we are working with the waste and all problems, it will be the awareness.
Got it. Anyone else?
I would like to go.
Unique challenge?
Yeah. So for me also, I would say one point of our challenge, first challenge would be the awareness regarding breaking stereotypes in the community, for which we've been able to handled that challenge completely, and we are dealing with it. However, the next challenge that we face is in terms of funding. That is one of the challenges that we are facing, and we are looking at it. Second thing for us is we want these children to get expert coaching as well. For that, we want to tie up with cricketing clubs which are there already. So networks to reach out to these clubs is something very important. India is known for cricket, but we are doing such a good cause, and we have reached out to a lot of organizations, but it's not easy. The process overall, it's like if you have a connection, only then you reach at the top. So that's one of the major challenges that we are facing currently.
Thank you. Sushil, another one which is very unique for us, okay? So the killing ingredient that we use inside of this, okay, is WHO approved, Government of India approved, all of that, right? Which means it's supposed to work in any water, okay? Now, if I have to do this for public health implementation, the policymakers want me to go through the whole laundry list of entire certification.
Again.
The point is कि मेरा प्यार प्यार,
Correct.
और आपका, yeah, it's the same water, right?
Yeah.
ये गमला ही है, गमले में किसी में if it's going to, it's no, right? There's different way. So yeah, that's a big policy. I mean, people, I don't know if it's intentional. We've not gone that level, but in spite of the scientists being there, that's one big hassle that we have. You know, you have to go through the same drill for public health, and I don't know how do we reach this. Why is it
Absolutely. No, we are facing the same problem in our foundation as well. Even if you have your FDA, you are asked to do pilots, right? Every hospital wants pilots. So completely agree. Yeah.
I'd like to highlight two problems. First would be from my customer's perspective. So the target audience that I'm looking at, normally auto rickshaw walas, they do not have a credit history. So it's difficult to get financing for them. Although we do have a few financiers who have ultimately agreed after we do a few pilots. But at large, if you see at the scale, we would want to engage with banks, Sahakari banks, and other such organizations. So for us, reaching out to them has been a challenge, and convincing them with what data we have is a challenge. So that's one. Second, like you said, it's there for compliance certifications. So for us, we have been fortunately been able to come to a point that we are now, the compliances are sorted out. But then whenever we do a reiteration, we have to do a re-compliance certification. I'm talking from the automotive perspective. So that's taxing for a company, for a startup, because if I look at my cost of development, about 70% of the cost has been actually getting the certifications. So, I mean, it's huge. The cost difference is high, and the policies, whatever have been made, especially with respect to electric vehicles, have been on incentivizing the sale, but not the incentivizing the development. So, obviously, we want to have compliance. We want compliant vehicles, but the policies could be brought out in such a way that certification and making a good product after certification is incentivized. So, if that could be something that could be taken.
Excellent point.
I think that about sums it up. Thank you, everyone.
I have one question, sorry. Yeah, this question is to Prasad. My name is Satish, by the way. So is it specifically targeted for open areas or indoor areas? And second question is there any specific reason for this size?
Okay, so it works indoors, outdoors, both ways. Mosquitoes look at breeding spots which are dark area. It's not supposed to be like this. It's not a drawing board item, right? You keep it away from sunlight because mother will not drop, her children, or she'll not expect them to grow in broad day sunlight. So indoors or outdoor, doesn't matter. It should be away directly from sunlight. Direct sunlight, indirect is fine, right? That's number one. And the second question that you had was on the size specification. This is built on a concept which was called as OV traps. So the mosquito pregnancy position, when female have labor pain, that position is called as OV positioning. And there were OV traps built out of plastic that never saw day of the light, is because when you do massive deployment, if you miss one, you are creating 3 crores into 3 crores into 3 crores. So that size was derived on that rather than working on size iterations, and just picked up by using a biodegradable material. Thank you.
Okay, there's another question coming from there.
My name is Anand, and my question is a follow-up to the question you got just now. I was very curious to know how and how are you distributing this product?
Okay, so we have three business models right now. B2B is serviced by Rentokil PCI, Pest Corporation of India, country's and world's largest pest control provider for the B2B market. 1,000 locations, 300 districts, 22 states, and 5,500 sales team, actually technical deployment team to take this product. B2CSR is where we work with foundations and NGOs. The deployment is done in the field. We work with ICICI and ONGC Foundation. That's our CSR. And B2G, we work with municipal corporations like Bombay Municipal Corporation directly in deploying them.
As a follow-up, if I'm a retail customer, as I am right now, I mean, I would like to be, how do I buy it?
1-800-212-2125, our website, or on Amazon.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me. I have a kind of a question for both you, Nandan and Bhavini. From your presentations, what I saw was that you're targeting your market as a gift item. Is there any reason for that? Because that limits or restricts your sort of focus on a very short period of time and not through the year. So that's one. And Praveen, have you thought of connecting with an international organization like the Rotary organization, which has about 180,000 clubs around the world, and the awareness or propensity for people to be requiring to help disabled people is much more abroad than here, and so they would be a very good this thing, especially if your product is patented and there's no other similar product in the international market. Maybe you should be able to get in touch through the Rotary organization and get to a international market. It would literally be a scale up. So if I could just get some understanding from both of you.
So at least for the Ecokari, what we do, we are into B2C also. So for example, I was actually talking about exports also. That's majorly B2C. In B2B, we got fortunate that we got a lot of attention from the corporates without approaching them. So the product is actually the exact fit for what they are looking for. So it's cleaning the environment as well as creating the livelihoods. So, and we could customize the products as per the requirements. मेरे पास fabric है, you have the budget requirements, 200-300 का budget रहता mostly, and then the sizes and all that. So we could do that. So that was the first thing, and it was a low-hanging fruit for me, to be frank. So I am into the B2C also. So I have a website. We are there on the Amazons and Flipkarts also. But the problem with that, as of now, with me is since I deal with the waste, my each and every color is different. For example, like laptop bag, I might not be able to replicate the color since I have no control over the kind of waste which comes to me. So that's why my B2C in terms of the online business is little low because majority of the paisa sirf photographer kamata usme. Because I have to, each and every product has to be photographed to be kept on the website. So that wasn't a major problem. I'm still facing it. But for the other B2C with the physical stores, we have boutiques in Goa mein hai, Bombay mein hai, Ahmedabad mein hai, in Chennai. So we do good sales with them. So we are there, but ज़्यादा पैसा B2B से आ रहा था. So it was actually strategically shifted जानबूझ के because it was giving me the cost acquisition was coming low. क्योंकि it's a one point contact for me where we do one time business and it's a repetitive. For example, from Tata Sustainability, we are working with them from last 3 years. For every conference मैं उनसे बैग बना के देता हूँ. So that kind of business, एक बार आपको contact हो गया, you keep getting the orders from them. Then in B2C, it was burning my money. So as a person, I don't like to burn the cash. So I always wanted to be on the positive side of the cash flows pay. So that's why I shifted to there. But we can still go to the B2C because most of the products, they look fancy. So we do approach because there's a lot of shine into the product because of the inside of the biscuit packet. If you imagine that there's a silver line into it. तो उसकी वजह से बहुत bling आता है. So that's why the majority of my ideal customer base is little 25 to 50 kind of customer, majority women, because that's what the products are there. And into B2B, it's completely different. We mute the colors because it's 80% males who are working into the corporates. So that's for me. I don't know about what is the strategy.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally agree with Nandan. Sorry. So basically, when we started piloting with the fashions, and till today we have a fashion already in the market. So we convert the garment and everything. But what happens as we work on a circularity, whatever the remains after that, okay, so that needs to be converted into more products. So we have add on this product categories, and that was during our research and everything, we came across the market demands and 2,500 billion market for the corporate gifting, and we reach out to the many corporates, and we come to know they really need the for their ESG and CSR the sustainable product, and that is to be classy and all that, because they say hum bamboo or sabse bahut kantal gaye, we need something unique and like that, and so there we don't have the challenge. So yeah, so that is the need. You have so, and we are the manufacturer. Yeah, so we have add-on things, and like German embassy, they have the they order us the wall frames from us, like that. So we have many categories from garment, home furnishing, accessories, and many more. And in the end, we convert the whatever the scraps remains into the seed paper that goes with our product as a story card and a thank you page with all that things. And we also have the stick-ons that is extending the life cycle, patch on, and so many things. For that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I have an, ask me a question. I'll finish it in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, thank you for your feedback, sir. Yes, the plan is there to scale it internationally. So we are taking one step at a time. So we launched a product in 2022 mid. Almost 15 months, we have validated the product design is good. And in the meanwhile, we have also got some international customers who have Googled about us and bought, and we have shipped it out on an individual basis. While that is happening, to deploy it on an organizational scale or through resellers, the market works different in different countries. So we have understood now that know how the market works in each country, and we are marching towards that. But as you said, the scope of this product is more in the West. While here the mobility-based aids are being prioritized, while they have already crossed the mobility aids, they are looking for something new age assistive tech, and that's where I think we fit in. Happily. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Datar and Mr. Bhargav. I now would like to invite Mr. Mukesh Malhotra to felicitate Mr. Datar and Mr. Bhargav.